So, the 2019 IPSC Handgun Championship in Serbia is over. It's about a week since the match finished. Well, actually, precisely a week. And I thought I'd share a few thoughts on the match and Belgrade and stuff like that. So, first of all, about the match, I thought it was a good match. I enjoyed shooting it. The squad with other classic competitors was great. It was a pleasure to watch Julien Bois shoot the stages. So thank you to all the people on my squad. You made the match fun. About the stages, they were not as complex as I had imagined they would be based on my experience at previous level 4s and 5s. They seemed simple. They were not all simple, but they were a good level, I'd say. There was not the same focus on decor, i.e. the castle and knight theme of the last Europeans in Belgrade, which I found fine. I know some people were a bit disappointed with that, but to me the stages were well built, and I can easily live without the decor, to be honest. Some of the stages had multiple options to shoot them, some did not, and that wasn't just limited to long versus medium versus short courses. There were several short courses with options and some long courses where there were not. I would have liked a bit less static shooting. Quite a few of the stages were go to this position, shoot this, go to this position, shoot this, and then go to this position and finish up. There could have been a bit more shoot on the move. I think I had like at least 2, perhaps 3 stages where I did some shoot on the move. Obviously, better shooters did more shoot on the move, which is fine, but I would have liked the option for a bit more. My stage plans were quite simple. There were only 3 stages where I really felt the need to have scouted ahead and looked at video of the stages being shot, with 2 of those being stages with moving targets, one of them the slider stage, I can't remember which stage, I'll insert a link to that, and which turned out to be no problem at all. Generally speaking, the moving targets were eminently doable for an average IPSC shooter. They were not fast, they were not too far away, and yeah, so that was fine. The targets were brown, which I like. I didn't like that the steel was blue. I've shot at blue steel before, it's not my favorite. I would really have preferred a lighter color like white or yellow. I'm not really aware of the reason that we see blue steel used at so many matches. I think it's annoying, to be frank. The level of refereeing at the match was generally good. We had a few issues come up, mostly with regards to equipment, which the area CRO sorted out quickly, so that was fine. I liked the amenities at the range. The gun check was done really smoothly and quite fast. The food was good. The price was good. There was quite a lot of drinks to choose from, soft drinks and also beer. The vendor area was fine. It seemed like they had expected a few more vendors, so there were empty stalls, which seems odd considering that I've heard some vendors could not get a stand, but I don't know. It seemed fine for what it was. I didn't shoot match ammo. I brought my own ammo. Some of my squad mates and some of the other Danish competitors used the match ammo. I talked to them about it. It seemed to be of excellent quality, which is nice to see, since that's always one of the conundrums. Do you shoot your own ammo? Do you buy match ammo? Do you source different ammo? What do you do? The major annoyance for me about this European Handgun Championship was that it was a travesty getting in. Last time we were there in 2010, it took us about 4 hours to get out of the airport. This time it took us the same amount of time, and it seemed like the problems were the same, i.e. the border police were not really prepared for the influx of competitors with their firearms, and perhaps were not entirely clear on what they had to do to get us in and get us sorted. So it's annoying when you've supplied all the information about when you'll be arriving, your flight number, arrival time, which guns you're bringing, what their serials are, and so on, and then it becomes apparent that at least the border police in the airport, and as I heard it at the ground border crossings as well, had absolutely none of this info. None at all. All the papers could have been prepared in advance, so that what would have been needed was to pay for the import permits and print them off, give them a stamp, and off we go. Of course, there would have been a few that needed to be changed, but that could have been done quite easily. I heard about one of the border crossings to Hungary, where apparently it took about an hour per competitor to get the permit sorted, and at one point there were 51 competitors waiting to have their papers sorted out. That's just not acceptable. So if there is to be another Europeans in Serbia, which I would support, not right away, but certainly at a later date, that really needs to be taken care of. It's just, it's embarrassing. Coming back to Belgrade was enjoyable. It is a city I could really see myself coming back to. It was enjoyable, the people were friendly, the food was good and inexpensive. Our stay was inexpensive as well, so that's obviously a plus. As far as my open performance, I placed as number 79 in Classic Division. That was my best placement at the Europeans so far. I ended up at just over 70%, 70.4 something percent. And I shot mostly stable during the 4 days of shooting. I took a bit of a dip on the last day. I shot the first 3 days with no deltas, no mics, no no-shoots, and I managed to collect some of those on my last 4 stages of the match. So that was of course annoying for me. I would say it was nothing to do with the stages. I don't know really why. Perhaps I pushed more than I should have. I don't know. But overall, I'm, while not happy with my performance, I'm satisfied with it. And this was obviously the culmination of my 2019 competitive season. I have not made plans for 2020 yet, although I know that I will not be going to the World Shoot in Thailand. I wish all of the guys and girls who go there the best of luck. I've decided that the travel and so on is more than I'm interested in at this time. So, last but certainly not least, I have a bunch of people and organizations to thank. First of all, I'd like to thank my girlfriend for traveling along with me. It was a pleasure. I love you. I would like to thank my sponsors, in particular Zero Mike Armory, who've been making all this possible for me for the last several years. I would like to thank the Danish Sports Shooters Association, or Dansk Sportsskytterforbund, for selecting me for this match and for supporting my entry by paying my match fee. That was very nice of you, so thank you. I would like to thank my teammates on the Danish national team in Classic. It was a pleasure being on the same squad as you and talking with you, exchanging plans and so on. I look forward to doing that again. And I'd like to thank also 6 Hour for producing the firearms I use. My two 1911s have been flawless for a very, very long time, and that is obviously due to manufacturing quality. So if you're looking for a firearm for IPSC, I suggest you take a look at the 6-hour range. That's probably something that you could use, and they are, in my experience, excellent quality and value for money. I would like to thank Reload Swiss. I've been using Reload Swiss powders for my reloading exclusively for more than 5 years. I find them to be of excellent quality, really good for my loads. I use in particular RS12 for my 9mm and 40 loads, and yeah, you could do worse than trying that out for your reloading. I would also like to thank Safariland. I use their holsters and their rig, which I find to be probably the best rig for IPSC as far as stability and so on goes. I think you would do very well if you are looking for a rig and you take a look at the Safariland, in particular the ELS belt system. So that was my impression of the European Handgun Championship 2019. Thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope to talk to you, see you, or email you, depending on who you are, quite soon. Take care.